We're going to show you how to add treatments, that is plantation shutters, blinds, curtains, drapes, to openings, windows and doors. So I'm going to start with a little segment of 2x6 and brick wall. Just something to put my window in. So I draw my wall. I'm going to pick from my manufacturers, I've got an Anderson window, tilt wash double hung, 3046 will be fine. Pop it in my wall. Just go to 3D. There's our little brick wall with our Anderson window sitting inside. We'll just spin around so you can see the interior. Now I'm going to edit that window. Now on that window, edit dialog box, we've got several tabs that control all the properties of the window, trim and headers and shutters. The one we're interested in right now is treatment. So I'm going to select the treatment. And from the treatment tab, I can add wall coverings, I can add curtain rods and brackets and finials, but I'm going to start with the covering. Let's turn that on. And within the covering, there are different types. Basically, we've got blinds, and we've got curtains and drapes, and plantation shutters. So I'm going to pick a plantation shutter as my first opening treatment. Select OK. And if I've got a plantation shutter, I'm going to ask it to fit to the inside of the rough opening. I don't want it sticking outside the trim. So there's my plantation shutter added to my opening. So the opening's still unchanged on the outside. It has a plantation shutter on the inside. If I don't have a shutter but rather a blind, I'll pick a blind that's open, I can simply change my covering style from the plantation shutter to the full blind. Now, if I have, rather than a blind, let's add a curtain. So add a curtain. And if I have a curtain, I probably don't want to fit it to the inside of the frame. I want it to move to the outside of the frame. Now I've got my curtains, but what I don't have is a rod to hold the curtain up. I'm going to add a bracket. Zoom in here a little bit, so you can actually see where we're adding. So I've got my curtain rod, I've just added a bracket, and I've got my treatment. Let's add a finial. By default it's a cone. I can add fancy spiral, and it's all very quick. Nice quick way to dress up my opening. Now, in addition to changing the styles, let's go to something that's of the curtains, I can also change the fabrics. So I'm going to change my curtain fabric. I've got handwork and miscellaneous and plaids and solids and stripes. Let's see what we've got. I can pick a weave. Let's try this, and instead of a color, I want it to be a texture. So you can see that it's very, very quick and easy to add a little bit of detail to your 3D models. All we're doing is in a point and shoot. All the selections that I'm using here are sort of out of the box with SoftPlan. I didn't add anything, so if you want to add textures, you can. If you want to add symbols, you can. But the placement is what's important here, and how easy it is to to dress up the windows and dress up your 3D models. So not only does the opening treatment show up in our 3D model, it also can be hooked through to the automatic material list. It'll show up on, if we were to take an interior elevation of this wall, the opening treatment. Let's go to save. The opening treatment is part of the interior elevation. So it is part of the drawing database. It can be shown or not shown in different views. On a floor plan, which is a more technical drawing, the curtains are not going to show up. 3D model, they're going to show up. Interior elevation, by default, they'll show up as well.